Tonight, tax authority reduces debt recovery amount. Fiji establishes links with Lithuania. And engineers work on Vudi Bridge. Good evening. Police are investigating a suspected drowning case at Lingaulevu village, Mali Island. Spokesperson Anna Naisoros said a 37-year-old farmer went diving yesterday morning but failed to return in the afternoon. 4 villagers conducted a search and they found the man's body floating in the open sea. He was brought back and police were notified. 5 drowning cases have been recorded this year, 1 less compared to the same period last year. Meanwhile, police have found the body of a 23-year-old man of Nalemba Lambasa who went missing yesterday following a fishing trip. According to police, the man had gone fishing in the morning but failed to return in the afternoon. He was last seen alive near Nalemba River at 5 o'clock. His body was found in the same location. Investigations continue. For the first time since 2007, the Fiji Revenue Customs Authority has been able to reduce its debt recovery to $60 million. However, Chief Executive Officer Chitoko Tikolevu says this is still a huge amount. Revu Kailangi reports.
2013 has been a record year for the Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority. They've made a lot of headway where tax collection and debt recovery are concerned. While they were able to rake in $1.86 billion, they've also been able to reduce tax debt recovery to $60 million.
There was a big effort in debt reduction. For the first time ever, the arrears, common arrears, for tax purposes, is reduced to below 70 million. The last one was back in 2008 or 2007, where it was bordering around 80 million. Now we were on 60 million. We really need, but that aside, we still need to collect that 60 million. But as I said, that's quite a good work from recovery side of things, yeah? To try and escalate the recovery part of debt, which also helped in our collection last year.
According to FIRCA CEO Chitoko Tikolevu, the current tax reduction rates has boosted collection. However, this is not expected to last long.
The issue then is whether the consumption-driven collection is sustainable in the future. That's the challenge, really. At the moment, and in the next 2-3 years, we are very comfortable that this will take us through the reduced tax rates. And what happens after that, beyond the 3, 4, 5 years, to take us through to those times, we may have to keep on coming up with a different mix, policy mix, if you like, to assist revenue collection.
FIRCA is expected to continue with the aggressive collection rate this year.
We are slowly experiencing the voluntary compliance level coming up. People are not waiting anymore for the last week or for the last day to come and pay their tax dues and lodge their forms. They're actually coming on the first week of the month. And that is also helping our resources not to actually just right throughout rather than just focusing on the last 2-3 days, which is helping as well. So it's quite positive. We were very aggressive last year through enforcement and other audit initiatives, which is paying dividend.
The tax authority hopes to surpass the 2 billion tax collection mark this year. Revu Kailangi, Fiji One News.
Government has established diplomatic links with the Republic of Lithuania. This was formalized through a ceremony yesterday at the Fiji mission to the United Nations in New York. Lithuania's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Raimonda Mermakait, and her counterpart, Ambassador Peter Thompson, signed a joint communique. Both nations will promote and strengthen friendship and cooperation in terms of politics, economic, cultural, humanitarian, and other fields. The 2 ambassadors then held discussions on areas of common interest. Ambassador Thompson highlighted the steady progress Fiji was making towards general elections. Repair works are currently underway on the Vudi irrigation bridge in Nosori. The Fiji Roads Authority had placed a temporary weight restriction on the bridge yesterday. Engineers started work today, and this is expected to last between 4 to 6 weeks. Only vehicles weighing less than 3 tons are allowed across the bridge. Assessments on the bridge were carried out earlier this week, leading to restrictions placed on it. Ahead in the news, women learn patchwork and quilt making techniques. A group of women in the Western Division completed a 2-week workshop on patchwork and quilting, organised by an Australian professional keen on sharing her knowledge to empower women in our rural communities. As Madhiyum Bolaitamana reports, the participants' handiwork was on display in Nandi this morning.
It was a program targeted for rural women and was initially run in Tavioni 2 years ago. Following that experience, the idea of empowering women in Nandi on the art of patchworking and quilting was just too good to pass.
The primary requirement was that they knew how to use a sewing machine. Because I was supplying the sewing machines, I wanted them to know that already. I was not coming over with my Denise Lane, the teacher, to teach them how to use the machine, but what to do with it by making patchwork and quilting.
While organizers were expecting 20 participants, the 60 that registered from day one of the program walk away with a wealth of experience and knowledge after extensive training in patchwork and quilting.
There were students from Jasper, a school in Lautoka. There were women from all cultural backgrounds. It's been very successful, and as you can see from the quilts on display here, these are just some of the work that they've been able to create.
On display this morning was the work of the participants, much to the pride of their overseas trainer.
Well, I'm hoping for Fiji that there is a program provided. I don't mind, I will help set it up. I will coordinate with anybody, but I believe that there is a need here for the women to be able to work, to serve themselves. I think there is a program required here. There are so many women so keen to sew, they don't have provisions, they don't have sewing machines.
For the women in Nandi, the empowerment they take home after this 2-week program will definitely open many opportunities they did not have prior to the training.
As far as empowering women, this particular workshop has opened our eyes, has helped us recognize that each one of us have tapped into talents that we thought we never had. And there's about 45 women from the Nandi community who have been part of this workshop. And each one has the power now to go back and to start their own business.
Madhiyum Bolaitamana, Fiji 1 News.
And the program also uncovered some hidden talents. For this working mother, taking time off from work for the past 2 weeks proved to be a worthwhile investment. The training allowed her to rekindle an interest in sewing.
Yes, I've done all the cushion covers, and on that I've done embroidery. Onto the, you might have seen that I've done some embroidery on the cushion covers, and also quilting on the bed sheets, and for the quilting on the baby's bedspreads. I've learned a lot during these past 2 weeks.
The same could be said for this high school student. Learning from the experts has been an invaluable experience before heading back to school next week.
Kitu bulish kumi Jasper, kitu leono kitu mi lakauli na bulingo. Kani marawi kitu ni kitu bu njingta kitu mi leona mata bulingo. Leu sarnaka kitu mi kilakina, kitu na lesungo, kitu na li baratak tanang kurbuli bernawani buli na beka kitu same bulida, kitu na wakamimita na biratana sana nitu tokani ra tiani rasinyadara mena bulingo.
Planning to travel to Northern Laos? Well, government's first shipping franchise trip departs Suva's government shipping jetty midday on Monday. The MV Rongoboka is earmarked to take this trip. It will visit Yadata, Thikombia, Tuvuda, Nayao and Lakemba. Tickets for the government-subsidized route can be purchased at the Ministry of Works in Samambula. This will be the first franchise trip for the year. A 76-year-old of Wainandoi outside Suva is a happy man after receiving assistance resulting in the construction of his home. Jone Ramumu was assisted by government's poverty alleviation program. He is a social welfare recipient and is looked after by his youngest son. Ramumu was picked out last year as a recipient for housing assistance. After waiting a year, his dream has finally materialized.
I asked for government assistance to build my house about a year ago, and I am glad that my plea was heard. It shows that there are people who care about own people like us in desperate need of help.
Government gave more than $11,000 for the construction of his home. Ramumu was obviously a happy man this week.
I did not pay a single cent from my pocket to construct the house. One of my 4 sons, who is a carpenter, constructed the house to help me.